exciting is this? And I found my president t-shirt just in time. We toppled our Russian dictator. Now we're going to help them topple theirs. Nadya from Pussy Riot joins us now. Good morning, Nadya.
Hello, how are you doing?
Thanks so much for doing this. You are one of my sheroes, as I texted you. You are so brave, and thank you so much for taking time for us.
Of course, it means so much for us right now that you agreed to help us with exposure for this campaign.
I mean, Nadya, I saved this tweet for you. Someone named Marie here tweeted, people in Russia are rioting to get rid of a dictator. People in the US are rioting to put one in. I mean, isn't it ironic what our two countries are going through, right? In some senses, we're both still fighting for democracy. But I mean, we literally we feel like we got rid of our Russian dictator president. Now you have done your bravery, and Navalny, who you are fighting for, and your Masha, who is also your friend in Pussy Riot, is in prison in Russia right now. You've done a year hard labor prison, right?
Yeah, I spent almost 2 years in prison, 2 years without 2 months. We had to be released before the Olympic Games were coming up. It was 2014, so Putin could not have this bad image of the country. So basically, we spent 22 months in jail, and I spent 1 year in the worst condition ever. It was a prison where they forced us to work to sew police uniforms.
Wow. Wow. Seriously, your bravery, and Navalny and his wife, of course, it is extraordinary what's going on in Russia. They arrested, 2,700 people? I don't know when that was.
I think it's actually up from there.
Yeah, up from
it's
that.
More.
Yeah.
I've heard about 4,000 people yesterday.
Wow. Oh.
Nadia, where do you and Navalny get that kind of courage? Because I think most Americans are not acquainted with the kind of courage you have and the kind of courage those people in the streets in Russia have.
Well, we are facing a serious enemy, and the stakes are high. Right now, Putin has been in power for 20 years, and we know that we're not going to have any bright future if we're not going to get rid of him. So I guess that's where we get the courage, because for a lot of people, they literally have nothing to lose, because a lot of those young kids who show up on the streets, they have not seen anything else but Vladimir Putin. So for everyone who is younger than 20, they feel desperate. They want something else. They want Russia to be a normal, progressive European country. We want to travel. We don't want people to be scared of Russians. We're not bad. Our government is terrible. That's true.
So you're 32, right? And you've been doing this a while. You've been an activist, and you've been fighting this fight, right? I mean, since you were a baby in your 20s, right?
That's right. Yeah, I'm still 31, but I'm in activism since 2007. I started when I was 17 years old, but I've started actually to identify myself as a feminist much earlier. I was 8 years old, and I was a little girl, and I didn't like that. Most of our heroes or historical figures that we've been taught about in school, they were men. So I started from feminism, and then I moved to ecological movement, because I'm from one of the most polluted regions on earth, the city called Norilsk. And then I realized that all these problems, they have common root. And unless Putin and his cronies are going to get out of power, unfortunately, we will not achieve big changes.
Nadya, I've heard you say on TV, on our friend Lauren's show and the one thing I feel like Trump, our Putin-loving ex-president, and Putin have in common is they're cowards. And you said that this really works. Putin, international pressure and pressure from America and all of this actually works. He actually cares what people think about him, right? And so this is why what we're doing, by the way. Rage was just released, the video. It already has a zillion views. Chris, we pushed all this out on social media, right?
Absolutely.
Here's what you can do to help Nadya and the cause of freedom in Russia. Post a 10-second campaign clip. Use the hashtags Free Navalny, Free Pussy Riot, Free Political Prisoners. Attach a link to the full rage video. Write in your own words, I stand with Pussy Riot. Russia will be free. And what you say is you want to put as much pressure on Putin as humanly possible to make sure he releases all political prisoners. Rage is part of a campaign for the immediate release of Navalny, Masha from Pussy Riot, and dozens of others. So I'm asking everybody listening right now to help us and join this cause, because it is our cause together, right? What we just did. I wanted you to hear something. Do you have, give me cut 15 again. What does this feel like to you for a Secretary of State of the United States of America finally said this yesterday?
The Russian government makes a big mistake if it believes that this is about us. It's not. It's about them. It's about the government. It's about the frustration that the Russian people have with corruption, with kleptocracy.
Should the U.S. sanction the backers of Vladimir Putin as punishment for what has already happened to Navalny?
Actually, we're reviewing a series of Russian actions that are deeply, deeply disturbing.
I mean, just to have America on your side again and standing up to Putin, how does that feel?
It's incredibly important when people help, and I believe that without international solidarity, solidarity within Russia, obviously, but without international solidarity, we will not go far, because, well, this is my philosophy in general, right? We live in a global world, and problems we're facing, they are global. So there are certain issues that just cannot be solved within one country. So I believe that we should be like governments or corporations who come together to protect their interests. So we as citizens and activists, we should come together to protect our interests against authoritarian governments. So any post, any hashtag, Free Navalny, Free Political Prisoners, Free Pussy Riot will really help.
Yeah, and Masha is your cohort in Pussy Riot is currently under house arrest for posting a social media about the protests in support of Navalny, and of course participating.
That's insane. Yeah.
It faces 2 years in jail. I mean, again, the courage that you got, and I love the way the parallel you drew. You said, imagine Trump stayed in office for the second time. Imagine if the overthrow here was successful and he jailed AOC and her supporters. What's happening in Russia is outrageous and unacceptable. Putin must go. He's just one insane, sad, lonely, corrupted man who's dangerous for society. I mean, same as Trump. No wonder Trump loved him so much, right? I mean, you saw that, right? The Putin puppet thing. He was Putin's puppet, and that must have been terribly dispiriting for people like you.
It was incredibly dispiriting. Even when in 2016, I realized for the first time that people are actually seriously considering to elect Donald Trump as president. I was shocked. I was shocked. But you know, I'm really glad that you guys got rid of him. I really hope that we will be able to get rid of Putin. And it looks like it will happen at some point. You know, nobody can predict what's going to happen.
It feels like the good guys are starting to win. So I'm hoping it follows over to Russia. I
really hope so.
Yeah, I have to ask you. So you've been obviously a member of they call it an anarchist feminist group, Pussy Riot, but obviously a long history of political activism. I love this one. In 2012, you were convicted of hooliganism, motivated by religious hatred after a performance in the Moscow Cathedral, which we all saw, and sentenced to 2 years in prison. Right, and then that's where you did, hard labor. And I mean, the fact that you do not show fear in the face of Putin must be really motivating these millions of Russians over there.
Oh, honestly, I do have a lot of fear, but I think it's a human thing to have fear, right? Like what we figured out over years of fighting against Putin, fighting against the whole government machine, is that you have to be able to control your fear and work with your fear. But the fear it's always there. Like we're not robots, we're humans. But I believe that Navalny, who was going back to Russia on the 17th of January, when he knew that he's going to go to jail after he was almost murdered, I'm sure he was afraid. but he knew that he has to commit this action. He has to make this gesture in order to bring changes in his country.
Here's something else we have in common. You were accused of promoting gay propaganda. We're all gay, Nadya, so this whole show is gay propaganda. I just want you to know. So
I love it so much. I love it. It was so funny. They accused us of gay propaganda before seeing the video. So we've done the video a year ago in February 2020, before COVID. So that's why you can see in the video that we are still dancing with each other, and we have like this slam situation going on. So it's completely, it looks like from another planet right now, right? No mosh pits for over a year. So yeah, they didn't know at the time what is the video about. They just assume that everything the Pussy Riot does is gay propaganda.
yeah. Yeah.
But I'm not really mad about it. I'm mad about criminalizing it. I'm all for gay propaganda.
You know what? If Trump had won again, you and I would be in the same prison for gay propaganda. Talk to me about Rage. I love the video. You just sent it to me last night. So Rage was filmed in February 2020. It originally was going to be released with Pussy Riot's debut studio album Rage later this year. The recent wave of political repressions led to a decision and the urgent need to release the video sooner and dedicate it to all political prisoners in Russia. It is Pussy Riot's only weapon against the authoritative, oppressive regime. Art. By sharing this video as well, you help us stand against Putin. So tell us, first of all, the description is perfect. Rage is about what it feels like being an enemy of the state and a heretic in your own homeland, about pain and depression it may cause, about jail cells and police batons, about people finally refusing to obey and expressing their rage at last. I got to tell you, this feels a lot to me like a lot that's going on in America as well, about police brutality and all of that. It was filmed, but talk to us, it was filmed. Over 200 LGBT, feminist, anti-authoritarian Russian activists participated in the shoot. The studio was raided by police shortly after you started filming. It was edited from bits and pieces of what Pussy Riot was able to film before being interrupted. The police cut off the electricity in the building. They blocked the roads around the studio, and then they accused you of gay propaganda. So tell us about that whole experience and the making of Rage.
It was a crazy experience. I still have goosebumps when I think about that experience, because it was a combination of really positive and really negative emotions. Those 200 plus amazing activists who came together to participate in that shoot, they were like the best that Russia can offer. And all those cops who raided the studio, who cut off the electricity and heating in February in Russia, they represent the worst that Russia has to offer. So these two worlds collided when we were filming Besit, which is Russian name for Rage. And though initially we were really traumatized by the fact that our art piece was destroyed, we were not able to film 90% of what we planned. So basically what we see right now is like literally bits and pieces. It really had a proper storyline. It had so much more. We had so much more to show you, but we couldn't because we were thrown out of the studio that we paid for by the police and being accused of gay propaganda. And then later we were jailed for 5 hours. So editing the video, I was feeling a lot of pain because I knew that like so many amazing shots were not done. But in the end of the story, I feel like the whole story about this video is really saying by itself, and it only shows more the cops' raid of artists who are trying to film a music video. It shows us more face of Putin's Russia and why we have to fight against it and why we are enraged.
Please join Nadya's army and fight for freedom here. I love it. You said 13 activists were detained as a result of us filming this video. We were accused of gay propaganda. We made it anyway. We released it today and dedicate it to all Russian political prisoners. Subscribe to our YouTube to see it first. And Nadya, tell us all the ways we can help and all our listeners and viewers can join your fight.
Well, you can support this current campaign that we started with releasing video Rage. You can share the video, write hashtags Free Navalny, Free Pussy Riot, Russia will be free, and Rage hashtag. Post clips and pieces from the video. But also, in the broader sense, you can also talk. You can also talk to people around you about importance of being involved in political fight, including fight for the release of prisoners in Russia.
I'm supporting you. I could not find my Dance Like Russia Isn't Watching t-shirt, but I did find my Niet My President t-shirt, because Donald Trump is Niet My President, and we hope that Vladimir Putin, that Vladimir Putin will be Niet Your President as well.
You know, another thing that you really can do to help is pretty easy. Watch the video of Navalny about Putin's palace.
Okay.
And share this video with your friends. You will see how incredibly stupid, petty, and corrupted this man is, who is ruling my country for 20 years.
You are brave and beautiful, and we salute you, and we are with you in your fight. And please come back anytime and tell us how we can help, and we will try to help keep the eyes of the world on what is happening there. Nadya, thanks so much.